Greetings and salutations from the allotment again. Okay, today I'm going to install a wormery or a worm farm. I've got this is a 5 tray worm farm I've got a kilogram of worms here, little red wrigglers. They've been here sat there since yesterday, so I really need to get them established. This is the base for the worm farm, and it's just a tray with a drip tray. And the idea of I don't know if you know anything about worm farms, but basically what they do is they make compost, but they also make worm tea or worm wee. Basically the water that drops off the bottom makes a really potent fertilizer, and what you do is you dilute it. I think it's 10 parts to 1, and you just water that over your plants, and it feeds them really well, and it's completely organic. So I've just been reading the instructions, and it says that I need to locate it in an area that is it's not going to get too hot, so it needs to be out of the sun. So what I'm thinking perhaps is either by that shed, or I think, to be honest, I think the best place is going to be in here somewhere, because this is the morning sun comes up there, but then it falls into shade from sort of 10 o'clock onwards. So I think I could quite easily locate the worm farm there. The question is it going to be in the way? I don't think it will be. In fact, I could actually put it around the corner here. That might work. Don't know. I'll have a little ponder on that, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, first things first, we need to take this block of coir, C-O-I-R. It is basically, I think, coconut husk, and we need to put it into a bucket. I've got this bucket here, which I use to bring some shredded paper along with, and you need to fill that with water. You need to, I think it's 3 litres of water. So let me do that to start with. Not quite sure I'm going to give it a go. Gonna have to guesstimate. Reckon that'll be about enough. Okay, now the idea of that is that block will soak up all of that water and then turn into a kind of a composty mush, and that's going to be the basis for the worm farm. Now, what I've decided to do as far as location goes is I'm going to put the worm farm there next to the shed. I think that makes sense. It's kind of tucked out of the way and it's sheltered. It's in the shade now. It's kind of 2 o'clock in the afternoon now, so it's not going to get too hot, because apparently the worms are actually quite sensitive to the temperature. So what I need to do is, well, first of all, let's have a look at the worm farm, what it consists of. Now, it has a stepped kind of tiered tray in the sump in the bottom that collects the wee. Now that is so that if any worms fall out of the bottom, because the tray is just this mesh that the worms can fall through, if they fall through, they can actually get back in again, because the tray will sit right onto here, so they can find their way back up into the composting bin. So what I need to do is put the first bin on, and that is basically a bin with a big mesh in the bottom. You need to line it with cardboard. What's next? Okay, place your first tray in place so it sits inside the sump, and cover the mesh base with a few sheets of newspaper or cardboard cut to size. That's what I've done. So now we need to place the prepared coir, which is that coconut stuff, on top of the cardboard, and if possible a few handfuls of garden soil as well. Now the garden soil helps kick off the little mini ecosystem that's going to take place inside there. So yeah, as the soil contains the correct bacteria to get your wormery off to a great start. So as soon as that coir block has broken up, I should come back and we'll pour it in. It's not doing a lot at the moment. I think this may take some time. I think what I'll do in the meanwhile is have a bite to eat and a cup of tea, I think, and I'll come back to it. Oh, this is lovely. I don't know what happened to all this rain. It's Saturday and Sunday. The forecast was just rain and horrible weather. This is beautiful. Although the weather over there is a little bit on the grey side. Still on the diet, still on the smoothies. What I'm doing actually at the moment is I'm topping up the smoothies with whey protein. So it makes them even more yummy, but it also gives me a dose of protein as well. So everybody that's moaning at me for getting my protein, that's what I'm doing. I'm supplementing with whey protein at the moment. But you didn't want to know that, you want to know about worms. So, on with the video. Okay, the core block seems to have expanded. I'm just going to break it up now, and I think we're in business. That's taken about half an hour, and it's just turned into this kind of fibrous kind of, well, it is, it's just like coconut stuff. Smells okay. Okay, I'm going to mix this soil, which I've just sifted off the allotment, in with this stuff, and hopefully that'll give the worms something to get their teeth into. Okay, so now we just need to add the coconut oil, sorry, the coconut fibre and the soil to the cardboard on the top there. Hopefully you can see that okay. Okay, so now comes the fun bit. We're going to add the worms. Here's my kilogram bag of worms. I'll just get some scissors to open that. Okay, not quite sure what to expect in here, but let's see what we got. Haha! Okay, it's just a big handful of compost in there, and I can feel all the worms at the bottom. I can see them wriggling around. And they've got a blooming fruit fly in there as well, which is annoying. Okay, add the worms. There we go, some little red wrigglers. They look quite asleep at the moment. Loads of them. So all I'm going to do now is just give them a little handful of worm feed, and then the idea is that you just leave them alone for a couple of weeks to settle in before you start feeding them. Let's do that now, because they like to settle down and get used to their environment. Okay, that'll give them all the nutrition they need, and then bed them down with some soaked newspaper and cardboard. Which apparently you can't have too much of, allegedly. Ooh, it's a messy job. Okay, so we'll leave that like that for the next 2 weeks, and then what we can start doing then is slowly adding kitchen scraps. And when that bin gets full, which it almost is now, you just start adding another bin on top. You put a handful of compost from in here on top, and the worms will wriggle through and work their way through. And as they go through, they'll make worm tea, which will be collected here, and of course they'll be making compost as well. All good fun. So I'm just going to leave those alone now, and I'll put the lid on, and that'll be it. Actually, let's just put the lid on there to start with. Now, what I might do is get some little bolts or something to go through there, because I can see that blowing away in the wind. I'll fix it with cable ties just today, and then yeah, I think I'll make sure that that's secured. In fact, saying that, let me just do that today. Work on it or two. That'll just make sure it doesn't blow off in the wind. There we go. That's my worm farm. I have no idea how it's going to play out, whether it's going to work or not. Hopefully, like I say, I should get some worm tea from here, but we'll just have to wait and see. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great rest of the day, and I'm going to get cleaned up now. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.